Now we'll discuss about a step function. Step function or greatest integer function. Okay. So we'll say it as GIF, greatest integer function. Okay. So see here that greatest integer function is denoted like this, and we'll say it as step of x. So see, which is defined as greatest integer less than or equal to x. Greatest integer, step x means what? Greatest integer less than or equal to x. For example, you see here in place of x I am substituting 3.2 on both sides. Then that becomes as what, tell me? Greatest integer less than or equal to 3.2. In place of x we are substituting 3.2 on both sides, and you see this is basic equation of greatest integer function. So see, this is basic equation, you need to remember always. So see, step of 3.2, which is equal to, you need to take greatest integer that should be less than or equal to 3.2. So less than or equal to 3.2, so many integers are there. So you see here 3 is integer which is less than or equal to 3.2. Next, 4 is also not 4. 2 is also integer less than or equal to 3.2. 1 is also integer less than or equal to 3.2. 0, so on. In all those integers, you need to take greatest one. So see, in all those integers, greatest integer is what? So 3 is greatest integer. So you need to take 3 in next step. So anyways, this is implying as what? Step of 3.2, that becomes as what? 3. So in the same way, step of some 4.6 is there. So that becomes as what? 4. Okay. Suppose an integer is there, step of 5 you have, suppose. So that is equal to what? Whenever you are having integer, directly you write integer. That may be positive or negative. Now see about negative numbers. So step of minus 2.1, suppose. Minus 2.1. So what about this? This is equal to what? So if we are getting any confusion or any doubt, you need to go for basic equation. You need to go for basic equation. What is that? Step of x is equal to greatest integer less than or equal to x. In place of x, here we are writing 2.1 on both sides. On both sides. So you see here greatest integer less than or equal to, c, in place of x what we have written? Minus 2.1. Both sides you need to write, right, in place of x. Minus 2.1. So what are the integers less than or equal to minus 2.1? So see here, minus 1, which is what? More than, this is more than minus 2.1. So minus 2 is not the correct one. Minus 3. So see, minus 3 is less than or equal to minus 2.1 is right statement. Minus 4 is also less than minus 2.1, so on. So in all those integers, the greatest one is what? Greatest one is minus 3. So you need to take minus 3. So finally step of minus 2.1 you need to take as what? Minus 3. Okay. So for example, minus 3.2. Step of minus 3.2 is what? Minus 4. Okay. Next step of minus 0.1, which is minus 1. So step of some minus 6 is there. So which is what? Minus 6 only. When we have integer, direct integer you need to write. Next one, based on all these, see one more way to get greatest integer less than or equal to x. 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. And on this side minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So for example, you want to get a step of 3.2 value. Okay. So where we have 3.2, here you may have 3.2 right just after 3. So step of 3.2, that means step of this number 3.2 you need. Okay. So you just have to see near integer left side of it. So what is near integer left side of it? 3, right? So we can say it as what? 3. So we need, see, step of x is greatest integer less than or equal to x, right? In that way, for 3.2 less than integers, lesser values will have on left side. So these all are lesser values than 3.2. In all those, greatest one is what? 3. So that's why we are taking just left side integer of 3.2. That is what? 3. In that way, easily we can say step of some value. Suppose step of 2.6 is there. So where we have 2.6, here you have 2.6, correct or not? Between 2 and 3. So what is left side integer? Left side integer is what? 2. So you can say it as what? 2. Okay. In that way you see here step of minus 2.1. Minus 2.1. So here you have minus 2.1, correct? Here you have minus 2.1. Left side integer is what? Minus 3. So minus 3 is result. That's it. So when we have only integer in step function, suppose step of minus 1. So directly we will get it as what? Minus 1 only. Okay. So based on all these, we are going to get the graph of step function. See here, graph of step function. So these are values of x and these are values of step x. So giving values on x-axis 0, 1, 2, 3, and on this side minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 like that, and here 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So on x-axis you are having x values and on y-axis we are having step x values. And see, step x is equal to y, suppose. So in place of x, see, writing 0. See, we are going to get the graph of this step x is equal to y. In place of x, I am writing 0. What is step of 0? Step of 0 is what? 0 only, right? So 0 comma 0 is a point on curves. So see, 0 comma 0, 0 comma 0. Okay. Next one. I am giving in place of x, see 0.9 I am giving. So 0.9 point will be here, right? Point will be here. Step of 0.9 is what? Step of 0.9. 0.9 here you have left side integer is what? 0. So that's why 0 you need to write. So when x is 0.9, y is what? 0. So 0.9 comma 0 is a point on curve. 0.9 comma 0. 0 will be here only. So joining them will have graph like this. Joining them will have graph like this. Okay. So when we are substituting 1, when we are substituting 1 in place of x, so result will be 1, right? So writing 1, getting 1. So point will be here. 1 comma 1 point is here, not here, right? So not here. That you need to give symbolically, will represent like this with a bubble. Okay. Next, step of 1.9. Step of 1.9 is what? So left side integer of 1.9. Here 1.9 is there. Left side integer is what? 1. So result will be 1. So when x is 1.9, y becoming as what? 1. So 1.9 comma 1 is a point on curve. So 1.9 comma 1. 1.9 comma 1. So point is here. Joining them will have graph like this. So what about the graph on taking exactly 2? Exactly 2. So step of 2 is equal to what? 2 only, right? Step of 2 point is here. Step of 2 is equal to what? 2. So 2 comma 2 point is here, not here. So that you need to show in graph. Okay, that we need to show in graph. So step of 2.9 will give what? 2 only. So joining them will have graph like this. Okay. So this is graph of step function. On this side also will comes like that only. So this is graph of step function. Okay, thank you everyone.